So guys, I was basically forced to buy this gaming computer for 500 bucks, which is not exactly that little money. However, I think I might be able to turn a profit on it. So let me tell you the story about it. Now, welcome back at I Was in PSUs. If you're new around here, basically, we do quite a lot with tech, and we also do a few more complicated fixes like BIOS flashing, BIOS moddings, and things like that. And people around me know. So this guy came to me and he basically wanted his PC fixed because it was not turning on anymore. He thought it was a power supply. He bought various different power supplies and basically tried to do the diagnostics by himself. But upon failing on all of it, he brought it to me and I gave it a look. Now, it was not as simple because, as you can see right here, we have some duct tape on a USB cord because basically the fans were burnt and they were short-circuiting the whole motherboard. Now, in that process, in being short-circuited, basically the BIOS of the motherboard somehow had gone bad. So I had to use a manual programmer to extract the BIOS, see what was wrong, and then flash it back, integrate it with the new BIOS, which sounds complicated, but it's not too complicated. But after doing that, the PC was successfully booting, so I just did that. I did not touch the PC at all. As you can see, it's filthy. But yeah, so I went ahead, and then I called the guy and told him, hey, your PC is ready. You can come pick it up. But he told me that he built himself a new PC. And he actually showed me the pictures, and it's a really nice PC. It's like 4090, and so he was basically, I don't want that PC anymore. I want to sell it. Can you sell it for me? And I was like, listen, not really, not at the moment. But then he was like, okay, but I don't really want to have it fixed. But I already had done the job. We were having issues, so I was like, listen, I can buy it off of you, but I will subtract you the cost of the repair, and I can't give you much money for it, even though it is actually a good PC. And he agreed. So we settled in for 500 bucks and the cost of the repair, which would have been 100 or something. All in, I got this PC. Now guys, I know it looks bad on camera, it looks terrible on camera, but it has great components in it. So the case, first of all, it's all glass, front, back, and even on the side, which now is dismounted. And it's Corsair, just like it's Corsair all inside. So it has Corsair fans, Corsair LED strips, and it has true command controllers on the back, which is what was broken, by the way. And it even has a Corsair 850 watt power supply, modular, which is pretty good. But that's not actually what makes this PC as expensive, because, well, yeah, the cooler is just your average Kraken. I guess the guy really liked Corsair but preferred NZXT's coolers, which, by the way, in that era, I think they look much better, in my opinion, as well. But what really makes the PC expensive is the motherboard and GPU. So the motherboard is an Asus ROG Maximus 11 Formula, the absolute pinnacle of motherboards for LGA 1151. It was the last LGA 1151 made motherboard and the most expensive one, and it has an integrated LCD screen with diagnosing codes, and it has a full backplate for like NVMEs and like to cover the PCB of the board itself. This board used to cost 600 bucks alone, and it is matched to an RTX 2080 Ti Strix OC, that's the more expensive as well, which again at the time was probably 1200 bucks roughly. And it has an i9-9900K, so a pretty respectable CPU even in today's day and age. And then it has a Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro RAM. It should be 32 gigabytes of RAM, but again, it comes with no SSD. What am I gonna do with this PC? It's already working pretty much, but it's filthy. It needs a full disassembly, and it also has burnt LEDs on the fans. So I say we're probably gonna do it in the following. I say we clean it up first, then we disassemble it, clean it up more, then we repaste all of it, find him a nice SSD, then get some new fans which are actually working, and then overclock it and test it out, and it should come out to be a great build, I think. I say we start off with cleaning, but this time, even though we are on unwatering PSUs, I'm not going to be washing the PC, because even though it's really filthy, I think we can get away with compressed air, which is just quicker than going in with the washing method, which we do around here. Now again, if you want to see how I clean PCs, I do have full tutorials for that. I will also show you guys a bit in this video, so I say we get started and get dusty.
Perfect.
Guys, I don't want to know what this is, but Okay, so here we are and the PC is basically cleaned, but if we take a look inside the fans, you can see that there's still quite a bit of dirt there. So the next step is to convince your girlfriend that it's going to be a lot of fun to actually clean the PC, right? Okay, maybe I'm going to have to clean it myself, but either way, that's going to be the plan. And yeah, but I have other plans for the GPU though, so stay tuned and let's go ahead. Like, the situation is just terrible. Like, this would take probably a few days, like a few afternoons to actually clean it properly. So we are here at the Modeling PSUs. I wanted to wash the graphics card, but we are washing all of it. Okay, so in situations like this is the only solution. So perfect. Okay, so at this point, it's just a matter of leaving it drying up for a few days, and it's gonna be really clean. You can already tell, to be honest, it's looking much better. Now the Italian sun made quick work of the water in the PC, and it's already fully dried, so at this point I just have to disassemble it and clean the components individually and make sure that there is no water residue anywhere. I also think I will concentrate a bit more on the GPU because of course it's not the best to wash it while it's still mounted, so maybe an extra hour on this is gonna be worth it, but the rest you can already see it's looking much better. Okay, so the PC is now dried up, so we just have to do a few peel-offs because yes, this thing still has the original peel on it for some reasons. So satisfying, guys. And the motherboard under it is just fully brand new. Okay, so at this point, nice and easy repaste time. Let's see what the paste looks like after washing it. As you can see, even after washing the whole thing, it's not too bad. And water has gotten into here, but really just a little bit. So it's just a matter of cleaning it off. This PC was built 5 years ago and never repasted. And here we are, back to basically brand new condition, i9 1900K. Okay, so at this point, it is just a matter of disassembling the GPU, which, as you can see, it's looking brand new. Sticker, never opened before. Okay, it comes off pretty easy, as you can see. It definitely needed to be opened. I think we can save the thermal pads, but we definitely need to do a proper repaste. Okay, so I have just quickly cleaned it again. This is how I keep it, to clean it, by the way. I just reversed the GPU, but take a look at this, it's kind of cool. So you see here, it's like the model number, etc. Well, it actually got melted into the heatsink, so you can read kind of the end of NVIDIA on it, which I find pretty cool. But anyways, let's finish up the repaste. And now off with a nice repaste with this Fuse Ice Plus right here. This thing is amazing for GPUs. There we go, and spreading it is always better. We can now just go ahead, close the card off, and finally mount it back and see if the PC still boots, which probably will, but see how it performs. Okay, and here we are. Now, to be honest, I am just slightly nervous because I haven't quite given it that much time to dry, but we are trying to speed run this build. So let's go ahead and see if it works. Okay. We can see the LEDs as soon as I turn down the current. So that means that at least the power supply is not fried yet. Moment of truth. Fans are spinning, but the PC immediately turned off. Now it turned on again. The LEDs are lighting up, but not the Corsair fans. Our motherboard is working, which means our PSU motherboard is working. We passed the CPU LEDs. It means the CPU is probably working. Now it's rebooting again. By the way, guys, drop a like and subscribe to the channel. I mean, who is out there just washing whole PCs? Come on. Okay, I have just quickly did a few things, put on a new CMOS battery, and unplugged and replugged a few things. Let's see if this is the right time. Nothing, guys, we are still stuck on B4. Okay guys, I made it actually work, and yeah, everything except for one fan is working. I actually had to go ahead and buy the Corsair controller though for the RGB on Amazon, because this was from before when I initially fixed it for the guy that was broken, but now we have it as well, so the full PC is just running smoothly. And guys, when I say smoothly, I mean it. I went ahead and overclocked the CPU to 5.2 GHz on all the 8 cores, 16 threads for this i9-9900K. I flashed the latest BIOS on this formula, which allowed me to enable the resizable bar as well, locked in the XMP, tightened the timings on this Corsair RAM a little bit, and went ahead and did a nice undervolt with tiny overclock on the RTX 2080 Ti as well, and we gained a nice 20% more performance there as well. That's exactly what you can see in the Firestream, which has a massive score for hardware this old. We have surpassed by a lot RTX 3070 performance, and actually are pretty much right on the money on RTX 3070 Ti performance. The CPU, I ran a quick CPU-Z for you as well, but we overclocked the cache as well, which is what I show in my tutorials, which makes more difference than the actual frequency. So in gaming it actually goes more than what this benchmark can measure. Speaking of which, we went ahead and tested it in games. I ran my usual suite, which I will comment on, but I will also tell you about a few other games which you can play on. And in Apex we were just locking out basically 300 FPS all the time. On average though, we got 280 FPS, very respectable results. Whereas in Fortnite, again, over 300 FPS with competitive settings easily. You can honestly play at 1440p in Fortnite, over 240 Hz with this PC. Sounds crazy, but it's actually true with the right settings. And the same goes for Apex, because the 2080 Ti with its 11 GB of VRAM doesn't actually lose that much by going up in resolution. It has GDDR6X and it's pretty much made for higher res. Warzone though was a bit heavier. We got just a tiny bit under 200 FPS on average, but I'm pretty happy about it. Very smooth gameplay, and you could play at 144 Hz even on a 1440p display. Now, speaking about the other games I want to talk about as well, the latest releases, competitive titles, can be played at 60 FPS, 1440p, very nice. Any kind of story title, even Cyberpunk, 1440p is very much doable. The 2080 Ti is an insanely good card even in 2024, and it's still running nicely. The i9, again, it's an 8-core 16-threaded. Even modern CPUs basically have 8 P cores and 16 threads, and the rest is just E cores. So aside from a little IPC loss, is pretty much on par with modern times. The two components were perfectly matched at the time, and we have basically zero bottleneck. And I think the only conclusion can be that, well, sometimes when they make you buy stuff, if you buy it for the right price, it's always good. I mean, everything at the right price can make money. And this thing, after the washing, looks pretty much brand new. It performs like brand new. Temperatures were overall crazy. I will show you just a hardware monitor screen, and as you can see, crazy low both on the GPU and CPU. So it is a complete win for me. But do let me know down below in the comments if you liked the video, if you liked the washing part especially, and if you would have done anything different to this PC to extract more value out of it. Also, let me know, how much do you think this PC is worth nowadays on the used market? Let me know your opinion down below, because the market is kind of crazy right now. It's going down, I think. And also, if you've seen the video this far, maybe drop a like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.